Welcome to the webinar. Today it's about SOMloq2, the bidirectional radio control system developed by SOMMER. And we want to show you the advantages of this system. You got a noticeable quality of radio control system thanks to the feedback vibration. When you are giving a command with your transmitter, it will transmit. There will be a signal, and this will be received by the receiver. In this sample, it's the carriage. It's the carriage of base plus operator, and this will be processes, and it will be confirmed by the radio receiver if the signal is okay, and then the transmitter vibrates and lights up. So you get a feedback, your signal had been arrived at the operator, the door will open. Yeah, you have the direct feedback if your signal really arrived. Also, it's used for home banking. We use this as a secure coding through 128-bit AES encryption with Rollingcode. So this means it's every time sending a new code, and it's 2 up 128 options. This prevents decoding. So this is a very long key. You got an example over here. So yeah, pretty long key. The Rollingcode itself protects against code grabbing. So every single code is used just once, and the used radiogram will not work a second time. So if somebody grabs the codes, what you've just have been sent out, and tries to send it again, the receiver will say, no, this is an old code, this was already sent out. I will not react on this old code. There is a hop function built in. Every mains operated device in the SOMMER product range forwards the signal. So the signal is forward once. It's like this. You send out a signal with your transmitter, and if there is another receiver, here it's the SOMloq between your operator, the signal will be realized by this receiver, but the receiver knows it's not for him, and he will forward the signal once to your operator. So it's like you can say like a repeater. It's like an external antenna, active one, so it will you will have a better range of your signal. There is a auto repeat function built in, so this means several messages are automatically sent in succession. So you press the handheld transmitter normally just 1 second. If you press it longer, up to 3 seconds, you will have this feedback or this feeling that a message is 5 times sent with an interval of 3 seconds. So for example, you're driving home, you're nearby to your home, to your garage, and you press 3 seconds on, and then you could care about driving. And if the signal receives from the operator, it will automatically stop the auto repeat function, and the garage will be open. So it's a helpful usage to open your garage. Reliable radio control system with a good range and direct feedback. The status query of the door is possible with a spare Pearl status. That's a 3 push button transmitter over here with a red push button inside, and here you could get a feedback. So you press the red button first, and then you programmed push button to the operator, and there are 3 possibilities. So if the LED on your transmitter will flicker red, you know the door is in the end position, door open. So this would be this situation. if the LED on the handheld transmitter lights up green, you know your door is closed, so it's in the full end position, door closed. Or it could be a flashing orange, and it's somewhere between. So this means, for example, if you can't see your garage door and you want to know what's the status, you could have this in your living room and ask what's up with the door. And if it's open and you want to have it closed, of course, you can push the button which is coded in and operate the door, and close it. You need to know it's compatible with the previous SOMMER radio control system, SOMLoq. So this means your handheld transmitter first sends the BIDI signal, and if there is an answer, the BIDI is saved. So far, so good. But if there is no answer, because it's maybe a twist operator, which has not a SOMloq2, then the signal, the uni signal, is sent afterwards to code into the previous radio system. But there is a limitation. Please remark each transmitter channel can be support only one operating mode. So this means old is SOMloq unidirectional, or the new is SOMloq bidirectional. So you use each push button just for one function on your handheld transmitter. This is why we got 4 push buttons. So this should be enough to operate, for example, your twist, 2 garages, or even a third garage. Distance and device-dependent functions for setup mode. The receiver measures the strength of the received signal. This is called RSSI. So RSSI, received signal strength indication. And that value can be used to calculate the transmitter distance. So the system knows how far are you away from the system with your transmitter, because if you are nearby, the signal is of course much stronger than if you are 50 meters away of your operator. And this signal strength measurement is used for handheld transmitter programming. So later on we will see there is a pretty smart solution to code in a second handheld transmitter without pushing the radio button on your operator. So it's pretty easy if you need a second transmitter, and you need to code it in. But that's only possible very close to the receiver. So you must be in your garage or in front of the operator. That's not working from far away. That's the system with this RSSI signal. Now we come to the HFL. That's standing for the high frequency learning, and that's used to program the transmitter without any access to the teach button on the operator. So by the way, it's the same procedure as with a previous system. We had this HFL function also with a classic transmitter before, but you could do it nowadays with the Pearl or Pearl White. It's just important you have always the same transmitter, so the same version. If you got a Pearl, please use a Pearl second one to code it in. And you need a transmitter which is already coded into your operator. That's the first. Then you press and hold the first 2 buttons of your transmitter for around about 5 seconds. And the radio LED on the system on your carriage will flash. And then you could release your buttons on the handheld transmitter. And then within 30 seconds, you press any button of your new handheld transmitter. And this is programmed in the same way like the transmitter A, so like yours is. So this means all the push buttons, if you have on the first push button impulse mode, so open, stop, close the door, and on the second one you are operating your LEDs, you switch on the light, then it's also programmed like this. So it's pretty easy to have a second transmitter in. If you would use the radio button, by the way, you would have to code in each button manually, and you need to know which channel is operating what, so you will need the manual here for. This is a pretty easy way to code in a second transmitter without any manual. Okay, the new radio system is optimized for the framework conditions. So this means the frequency is now 868.95 megahertz. That's in the mid of the band. Before it was 0.8 megahertz, and that was not exactly in the middle, and this had some disadvantages. The period of the frequency band is just 0.1%, so this means this is not often occupied or somebody sending on it. Also, the system is so clever, it's working listen before talk. That means when you push the button, it's first listening is there any signal there, and then it's transmitting, just if it's free. This is all working in some milliseconds, so you will not really realize this, but it helps. For example, if your neighbor comes home at the same time and you're pushing both the transmitter at the same time, then first one signal will be sent out and then the other one, not both at the same time, and there will be maybe a low range of this. Then a higher receiving sensitivity is now possible because the chip, what we use here, is up to minus 120 dB sensitivity. This means we have a higher receiving sensitivity through this chip, and also the power. So we got 10 milliwatt is permissible, and we have now values around about 6 to 7 milliwatt. What's with a new transmitter? Just for reference, on the old transmitter it was around about 3 milliwatt. So now it's almost, or it's more than double, and this causes a wider range. So you have roundabout, if it's free, if there is no wall between, nothing, 150 meter of range with the Pearl wipe transmitter. Always depending on the environment. If there is, of course, a house between or something, the range will be lower, but usually it's more than enough. Okay, let's come to the know-how. Know-how is in-house, the hardware and the software we developed here at SOMMER in Kelheim Tech. The radio control system is with AES, like I mentioned before, encryption, which is also used on the home banking, so it's pretty safe. There is a file creation exclusively here at Kelheim Tech done. So there is just we know the code, the main code, and this makes it safe. We got an efficient vibration motor built in, so for long battery lifetime. That means it's using a low current. So if you use it maybe twice a day, your transmitter, it's up to 2 to 3 years what you could use your transmitter without changing the battery. The radio protocol is prepared for the future, so this means products and data. We can do some other stuff, like for example, soon there will be for HomeLink a module available that's plug and play also on the system. And yeah, let's come to the transmitter itself. We got the Pearl wipe. It's coming here in this blister packaging, as you can see. And that means it's dirt protected operation by technicians. So the programming of the push buttons, you could operate them through the packaging. That's possible. So everything can be programmed, and when the end customer receives the transmitter, he packages out. It's brand new. It's not dirty. It's yeah, it's new. There is a matrix code directly legible on the reverse, on the back side. You find all the data, the serial number, item number on. This is laser engraved type plate, so this is a good quality. It will not disappear soon. And we have a laser engraved front, as you can see here in standard with the SOMMER logo, of course, but by the way, it's also possible to order your logo, your name over here. Just ask in the sales department here for. Okay, then we come to the functions of the transmitter now. Stefan, would you let us know the functions of the transmitter?
Of course. Thanks, Holger. Until now, what do we have? We have different types of transmitters. The Pearl Twin, and the Slider Plus are similar in some case. They are all compatible with the previous SOMloq Rollingcode system. They all get the auto repeat function. They all have the hop function, and they are able to do the programming via HFL. And then we have some other transmitters like the Pearl Vibe, the Pearl Status, and the Slider Vibe. They are also compatible with the previous SOMMER system. They also get the auto repeat function as well as the hop function. They are able to do this HFL, and in addition, they have this feedback vibration because they got a receiver integrated and a vibration motor, and they're able to do the status query because of this receiver. So with these transmitters, it's easy to ask for the status of the door, so you can see if the door is open or closed or somewhere in between.
Yes, thank you, Stefan. Exactly, that's it. And we go on now with the radio transmitter. So you got some picture over here. For example, this is the Slider Vibe. This is the Pearl Twin transmitter. So we got 2 push buttons. They are bigger, easy to handle. So if you got just 2 doors or you need just 2 commands, you could use this one as well. Or we got the Pearl Status. Like I mentioned, we had a red push button over here to ask your door status. So if it's open or closed, and you can operate 3 doors also with this transmitter. Then over here you can see the 12 command handheld transmitter, which is called Telecode Plus. You could use it as a 12 command transmitter for 12 doors, or you could program a code and use it as a telecode, so to get in your garage via code, just opening the garage when the code is correct. And then we developed also a 200 command handheld transmitter, which is called GigaCom. This is looking similar to the Telecode Plus. The technology is different inside the PCB. You can control up to 200 commands. So this is for industrial usage, where there are really huge doors, a lot of doors which want to be controlled, often definite open-close mode. So this means it's up to 100 doors what you could use open and close in indefinite mode. Okay, let's come to the production. In the production, we got this rotary transfer machine, what you can see here on the picture. So here is the laser, and here there are always some boxes in. You can see the PCB in. You can see the transmitter housing is in. It's always 4 pieces, and it's automatically turning around and automatic programming the handheld transmitter software. So the software is programmed in this machine. There is an integrated handheld transmitter function test. So the range, everything will be tested. The signal itself, if it's okay. So each transmitter after production is tested here. And the laser engraving of the matrix code and the production data for traceability is also done here in this machine. customer specific laser engraved, like advertising without changeover times are possible. So we can pretty easy have here your logo on. Please ask in the sales department if you are interested to have this with your own logo. Okay, we are almost on the end of the webinar today. We come now to a summary of SOMloq2. Stefan, please let us know the summary.
Okay, for the summary, what is to say? We have now a higher encoding for the radio signal. This means the signal is more secure than before. We have this vibration feedback, so the customer knows when the feedback is or got to the receiver, so it sends back a signal to the transmitter, and you get a vibration feedback there. Then we have a hop function. This hop function is very useful if the range is not enough for the radio system. I mean, the range is pretty good, better than before. But if you have something in between, you can use another receiver from SOMMER company, and then he will forward the signal once. Then we have this auto repeat function. If you press a button longer, the signal is repeated up to 5 times. So if you're maybe in your car and coming to your garage back, and the signal is not, the first signal is not received, the repeater, the transmitter repeats the signal, and so the door will open easy when you're in the range of your handheld transmitter. And then it's able to have this status query of the door. There is a 3-color LED built in the Pearl Vibe, Pearl Status, and Slider Vibe transmitter. So you can ask the door if it's closed or open or somewhere in between. Then we have this HFL function for coding in a new handheld transmitter. This is very useful because you don't have to get to the radio button on the carriage. Just press those 2 buttons of a already programmed transmitter, and then the receiver will get the new signals from the new handheld transmitter, and this handheld transmitter is then automatically teached in as the old one before. And of course, we are compatible to the previous SOMloq system. This means with a new handheld transmitter, you can operate old receiver and a new one as well.
Okay, so that's the summary. Thank you, Stefan, so far. And we say thank you to you for listening. If you got a question, now is the time. You could ask whatever. So let us know.
Okay, if there are no questions out there, no problem. Thank you for your attention, and maybe we see you at another time at a webinar at SOMMER company. Thanks and goodbye.